Hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Eador, Masters of the Broken World with Wando Bondo. We're playing the White Wizard. Okay, well, we just fought some demonologists and we got the Sword of the Immortals, which we can't use that, so that's that. And what did we find here? We did find something over here. Slugs. That's kind of interesting. We haven't fought slugs in the 7th ring. I don't know, but we've fought tier 4 slugs before and it really wasn't that interesting. We would get something out of it. And the warrior is moving probably around here, so we've got to be careful. We only have a couple more turns, and so we're definitely going to have to do what we're going to do here and fight these necromancers, which that could be 2 warlocks for sure. And we still have to keep working here. We've got these 5 dragons there that we might want to work on, so we should do this fort and try to get closer to this fort, which we also want. We can build a citadel, and we need the Master Builders Guild. And so where do we get to that? Master Builders Guild, that would be this one, which means we need this castle. Well, let's start working on that castle then. That will get us, then we can play around with some of these guys, but we already got our units. We're not going to get any tier 3 units. We're not going to do any quests or anything. 2 gems per turn. I don't know if that's really worth it. We still never got our Monstrologist Guild, but we never got any eggs. Not one. We're only 2 spots away from it, so we don't need it. Alright, so that's that. We've got that working. We don't need to hire guards. We don't have any more of our regular rituals. Fairwind is ready when we're ready to move up north to intercept the warrior that's moving on us. And we're not going to switch out our gear because we didn't get anything we can use. So that's that. And we're not going to build anything because we're going to save up for that castle. We need about 18,000, then we can afford the castle. Alright, what spells do we need for... We'll play around with this polymorph again and see what we can do to the undead. Because maybe we can use it on a vampire, and that might be interesting to think about doing something like that. Can't use it on a dragon because spell immunity, prevented by spell immunity. So that's really what I'm looking for. Dragon form is good against dragons because that gives you another unit that can kind of stand up to a dragon or two. And time stop also is good because it actually affects your dragons. So that's really good. So you could either have 2 dragons form. In what we have, we can only have two tier 4 spells. We can have two dragon forms, or we could have a dragon form and a time stop. It's not bad. Alright, well, sleep is... Yeah, we need sleeps for the warlock. We never did use the teleport, and I don't think we're going to. I think we're better off with Word of Ice if we need that. That way we can slow down or stop a vampire or something if we need to. We have Fireblade for the ghosts. We have Astral Energies. I think we've got all the spells we need then. And we're going to play around with this polymorph. And what about these druids? 37%, 80%, and 45%. We're going to do the same thing here. We're not going to use this one that has 80%. We're going to try to let that one sit. And we're going to try to level them up all at the same time. And that way we'll get some range because they just have not been getting range. And they're already level 15. At least one of them, this one's level 17, so that's 5, 10, 17 levels, and none of them got, over 10 because it pops up at level 10 actually, so you got to include 10. So that's 6 and 6 and 8. So that's like 20 levels and no extra range. Okay, well, we're done here, we're done there. We're not going to build anything else, and we're not going to hire any guards. We already know where we're going to go to fight the Necromancers, and we're going to wait and see what happens with Belith. And we don't see anybody else creeping up on us yet, so let's do this. We're not going to play around too much with it, but it's something. I am curious to see what this polymorph can do. I haven't played around with that in a long time, and I forget all the ins and outs. I don't think I've ever really played around with all the ins and outs. Ghosts, Black Wizard, Vampire, Warlocks, Sorcerers. Yeah, that's 16 of them, so a full deal. Wow. All right, that sounds good. That means it's going to be hard to get to those Warlocks in the back. Same plan as before. This is a swamp, yep, so we'll move here. Here's the one that's 80%, so we're going to move this one to the back, right from the beginning. Leave this fairy. Actually, the fairy has more or less hit points than the druid. Has 9 resist and 18 hit points. The fairy has 11 resist and 14 hit points. I think that's pretty good, both of them in a way. 10 resist and 17 hit points. I don't think that the warlock could kill any of them, to be honest. Now we've leveled up, we've got more, except maybe this fairy right here. I'm not sure. Alright, so we're going to try to level up this elf druid and this elf ranger. That's the goal. And we really have to be careful here. Yeah, oh, and here's a hill, so I'm almost for sure that warlock's going to be on that hill. And the vampire. Where's the vampire going to be? The vampire can fly, so the vampire can go right here. We're going to have to see what happens there. We've got a Pegasus that can shoot into this direction and try to get to something, but we need to be able to... Wow, we really need that extra range. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can't even pierce through anything to get into there. We could do dragon form and possibly get in there if they're on that side, but if they're on this other side, we would need the dragon form on that side. Well, then we better put it in the middle. I don't remember how a dragon can do. Can't see our spells right now. I think a dragon can move 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I remember there was a dragon here and it could move right to there. I think a dragon can move 5 spaces. So, and we'll have haste, so we can move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That can get us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll be able to attack anything. If there's a hole in the line, we'll be able to get back to some warlock if we had our swordsman turned into a dragon and the haste on the swordsman. So, okay, well then I guess that's the best we're going to do. We really need to close that line somehow. Well, we can resurrect as long as we don't lose something, and we'll just have to figure out how to close that line, I guess. Or we could put the spider on this side for some extra support. That is a good question. But we need that warlock in the middle. Oops, here we don't want to do that. Alright. Is this a good idea? We really just have a big hole in our lines. If we plug this in like this, then we can use these Pegasi to close the line somehow. Yeah, we can. It'll be interesting, but we can do it. Alright, well let's try this. If the warlock's on this side, we'll figure out what to do. If there's 2 warlocks, one on this side, one on this side, we're gonna have to figure that out too. Then hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Poke a hole in the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get back in there and kill that one. Put the other one to sleep. Okay, we have 1 warlock on the hill. 14 magic resistance. We've got a black wizard. We'll just start casting. Can shoot for 11, but that's not going to kill us. We've got another black wizard. Can shoot for 12. Fear spell. Raise skeleton. Another summon imp spell. So we had 2 vampires instead of 2 warlocks, which, ooh, that's a little tricky, but how much they hit? 22, we've got 41. We have to deal with these ghosts, but the ghosts only hit for 12, and almost all of our units have 9 resistance, so they can't really do anything to us. It's just these 2 vampires we're going to have to deal with when they come after us. And this vampire can move 4 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, right into that tree and get rooted. So that's going to be perfect there. And the other one will come right here and get webbed. And then we'll just put the massive beat down there. We'll do... So to start with, we need to put that warlock to sleep. I think that's a good idea. 5 turns, it's not as good as I was hoping for, but it's good enough. Let's start shooting. Oh, we can't even shoot to that ghost. Thought they could shoot pretty far. 7 range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, only into that row. 3 to 6. That looks better. Well, let's try that. Okay, why not? And we'll do some haste here. And some haste right here on our other Pegasus. And these ghosts can come in, but not too much. And then we will 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, we need to stay here because we have to have that vampire come right in and hit us. That's what we want. And then we'll be able to web. Maybe we'll try to take out one of these ghosts with Polymorph. Okay, let's see what happens. Vampire's taken care of. These 2 ghosts are going to come. This vampire we know what to do with. And as long as they can't attack us, this Pegasus has a lot of magic resistance. So no one can be able to shoot us and kill us after the vampire hits us. We'll be down to 20. The warlock is asleep for 5. I think we're good. Alright, let's try and do this. Boom. 17 damage. Pretty heavy hit. Okay. Well, at least it did its little thing and it made the graphic, and when it does the graphic, that means that then it shows the damage. Ooh, that's pretty serious. Okay. Well, we'll start with a web. And we will get a heal. Whoops. We will get a heal first. And start taking out these crazy casters who are messing with us. Still will kill. Bang. And then here we can do... There's a May kill. Of course not. There's a will kill. Let's do a will kill here. Alright, what about here? That's a May kill. What have we done here? If we did Fireblade on... Oh, we should do Fireblade on one of these elves. And that would have been a good way to do something there. But let's try to take out one of these ghosts. Bang. Wow, that's really strong. Come forward here. Maybe do a little damage here. Why not? Alright, these 2 elves already went. And this elf, we're waiting. We're not going to do anything. And now we're going to do Polymorph on this. And we can do a Polymorph on a undead. So that's interesting. How many turns is it going to be? Duration 15. Boop. So that's interesting. It has been polymorphed and it can only hit for 6 damage now. And it's regular damage. But honestly, we could have also done Word of Ice, I believe. I believe Word of Ice is only prevented by spell immunity. We can still cast it on a ghost. So we used a tier 4 spell with 35 gems to do something that we could have done. Knock that ghost out of commission for a long time with this Word of Ice, which is basically what we're doing here, although we can kill it easily. So that's interesting. We're going to lose that probably. And the vampire is definitely rooted. So we're going to wait on that and we're going to start healing. And can't do anything there. We already went with the wizard. And you know what? Let's get our cleric to level up a little bit. Nice. Okay. There we go. There we go. Alright, I think we've handled it. Let's see what happens. Did we ever attack here? Yeah, we did. Then we'll move back one space. Just to close the line. Alright. Let's see what they do to that Pegasus. Okay. Bang. There goes one down. They're gonna try and take out that Pegasus. Ooh. Well, that's interesting if we can kill this. Yeah, we can kill that ghost while it's polymorphed into a goblin. So that is kind of interesting, but we could have done the same thing with Fireblade. Fireblade gives you extra damage and turns everything into Magic Strike. So that would have given that elf about 23 damage, and we could have probably killed a ghost with that, and that only costs us. That's a tier 2 spell, and it only costs 4 gems. So it's not like anything. It didn't get us anything. I really don't think that polymorph gets you anything. You have to decide for yourself, but I don't think so. Alright, what about here? Woo, we gotta do something about that. Let's do this vampire. And that vampire's stuck for 3 turns. Okay, what are we gonna do here? Let's rest. That way the vampire won't kill itself on us, and then we can just heal and we can work on that vampire a little bit. It's rooted, so it can't do anything to us. We'll try to kill it with this druid next time. Okay, we do have an astral energy. We can't do sleep. You know, actually, this... How many turns we have? Only 3 more turns here in the warlock. Let's do this kill here. And move back. And then we will do astral energy, I think. How many shots do we have left here? 6 out of 8. Okay, we got a lot of shots, so that's good. We could do astral energy and web this, but you know what? I don't think that ghoul can hit. I think it's 6. If you have 6 resistance or better. Ooh, we don't have 6 resistance there. I really don't want to get it won't matter. It'll only last for 1 turn. It'll put the disease on us for 1 turn, that ghoul will, and that's not bad. Okay, well, what are we gonna do? We really need to get this Basilisk into the fight. Can we kill... We only shoot for 18. The vampire has 3 range defense. Actually, we can kill that vampire. We should be able to. Well, not unless we had resistance. So we can pierce through like 7 resistance here and 5 resistance here. So we can pierce through that pretty good. We could also come and hit. Ooh, maybe we could do that. But let's, if we come and hit, that's a May kill. I don't want to do that. What about here? 1 damage. What about here? Well, let's do an astral energy on here. Can we kill here? That's a May kill, almost for sure. Maybe we should do that. And of course not. Why would we get the kill? I don't know why we would get a kill. Why could we get a kill? We weren't going to get a kill. We should have done that with the cleric first and then got the kill for sure second. Alright then, we're just going to have to take our... Ooh, this ghoul can actually get all the way into there. We don't want that. It's time to plug the line. And let's get this done. Let's attack here. And here, that's a May kill. We don't want that either. Okay. Then all we've got left is this sorcerer, and the warlock is sleeping for 3 turns. So we should be good after that. And the sorcerer can't bring up anything. So once we kill this warlock, then we can use resurrection for sure. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Oh my goodness. They can't really do anything to us anyways. Alright. Well, that was interesting. I don't know. This was a mistake for sure. Obviously. Alright, let's move up. Move the spider back. And the vampire's in the web for 2 more turns. So let's just make sure we web here. We didn't get any, these are skills and properties. We didn't get anything that disease did not get on us because we just have too much magic resist. But we really don't want to have this kind of a situation. That's really not good. Here's a May kill. Alright, what if we put magic weapon on this elf? And vampire's still stuck for 2 turns, so let's see what we can kill then. There's a May kill. There's a hit. What about here? Is this a kill? 15 to 20, not necessarily. What about here? There's a will kill. There's a May kill. Get 1 kill with this elf ranger. We're catching up pretty well. And we can't stop this. Can we... 6 magic resist. And we have 6 petrification. So we would need 8 to be able to stop it. And we also are playing around here, and we need to make sure we kill this deal here. And how many spaces? We can move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'd be stuck here and get attacked by, since this is an impassable obstacle, only 1 unit. Let's go ahead and do that, just to make sure we don't forget, and let this warlock come out of the pain and suffering and then put us in a serious situation. Okay, well then let's come back here and get this skeleton. And that's the end of that. Stuck for 2 turns. Can't move. We already cast our spell here. Can't do anything here. I think we're just going to have to kill this vampire and with the treant. And that's just the way it's going to have to be. And we will I'll try to get as many kills with these elves as we can, and that'll be that. Alright, well, we're just gonna take... Oh, yeah, that's right. We can get hit twice because they can die, and then we get hit twice. Not too bad. Alright, maybe a kill here. Let's see. Bang. Not quite. Then we'll come here. And then we will move back here, get our heal. We'll do an astral energy. Here we still have 6 shots. Finish off the sorcerer. Web the ghoul again. We have 0 out of 4 shots here. Let's heal this. Oops, let's heal this elf druid. Come back here and get some heal against this treant with the aura of healing. And we only have 2 zombies left. And make sure we've got all of our guys are all alive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. Oh, and then we've got the ghoul. I forgot about the ghoul. Alright. Let's shoot here once. And then... That's good. Alright. Then we can get some damage here. We shoot here. We'll shoot here. There's a kill. Come back a little bit. And we'll do a heal on the swordsman. We'll do a heal on the Pegasus. And the ghoul's still stuck. And we don't need to heal anything else. And can't shoot there, can't shoot here. Do we have any spells? Yes. Astral energy on the druid. And there's a goner. Alright, excellent. And we just have one more. And we should be done. Alright, make sure everybody's healed up. I think everybody is healed up. Well, that polymorph is interesting and it has uses, but I haven't found a use that I can't do with something that costs less and only uses up a lower tier spell. So far I haven't found anything that we couldn't do with something else. I really think that there's the better tier 4 spells. I just haven't found that yet, but we'll play around with it. Maybe we will find a use for polymorph. Okay, can't do anything yet. Alright, let's finish. Alright, oh, and a polymorph. We killed 17 units from the goblin. That's funny. Alright, 260 gold, 109 gems. Let's see what we're going to get. We want another ring. A really good, or you know what, really good wand would be nice. Ooh, do we need... Ooh, we only have 10 morale. But we definitely should take counterattack +2. That's better than... That's a pretty good deal. Ooh, here we go. Boots of levitation. Floating. That's interesting. Hit points +5, speed +1. I'm not sure if that's good for our... That would be great for our warrior, though. Speed +1. And we could go right over any obstacles to get anywhere we need to. Would that be good for us? Maybe. I will have to play around with that. 579 gold, 37 gems. I wonder if that's a legendary item. Temple of Light. Continue exploring. Ruined Tower. Ancient Crypt. Ooh, an ancient monastery. Well, let's examine it. And speak to the monks. And get the wise advice. Get that experience. Excellent. Okay. Death crystals. No, we can't risk the health of our subjects. We must use mercy and be kind to them. Immigrants? No, let's send them some aid. Okay, to my health. Good job. Wow, we got a lot of events here. People are disappearing into the dense groves. An evil sorcerer. Well, let's arrange a search for the missing. Let's dispel ritual? I don't know. They performed their spell ritual. They can't say for sure if it worked. Well, then we better find out what's going on. The Rangers comb the dense grove and discover an ogre's den. They find many of the missing people. The ogre himself was gone. Taking the victim's advice, they had sent bear traps and destroy the bloodthirsty to catch and destroy the bloodthirsty creature. Excellent. Woo, that was serious business. Where is that warrior? Okay, still moving around. Well, we're going to head up there right now and start beating him up next time. So that's the plan for next time. We're still going to figure out how to kill these 5 dragons over here in Crayfish Sloughs. There's 5 dragons in there. That's the plan eventually. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and until the next time, be well.